This morning, I want to encourage you. A lot of my clients come to me and they're working on business or they've got other goals, and they come to me and say, "What do I do about my family members? I'm growing, or I'm struggling with whatever, and it seems like they're not growing, or they're giving me flack for what I'm doing, or as I'm growing, I'm kind of leaving them behind. What do I do?" This is what I say, because this is what's happened for my family. What I found is that as I grow, it does influence my family. It's very difficult to measure. It's extremely difficult to measure, okay? It's like measuring your height when you're growing, when you're 10, 11, 12 years old. Every day you're looking up at the wall and going, "I'm not growing, I'm not growing, I'm not growing." You are. Trust the process. Trust the process. Here's my encouragement to you. If you are consistently investing in your family, or friends, or colleagues, or whoever, you are having an impact. And sometimes it's difficult to see that impact, and that's legitimate, okay? That's legitimate. It's difficult to see the impact, but you are having that impact. Continue to work at it. And what I would suggest is measure it on a larger time scale. So measure it every couple of months, every quarter, something like that. Because when you do that, when you measure kind of like how people are interacting with you and what they're thinking about and what they're talking about, then all of a sudden you see changes. You can remind yourself, oh yeah, this is where they were 3 months ago. Actually, there's been a lot of change. The reason I'm talking about these are random thoughts in the morning, right? That are floating around in my brain. That's why I've done this. The reason I'm doing it today is yesterday my wife and I, we were at home, and the kids were playing together, and my kids are 8 and 6 right now. You know what they were playing? They were playing businesses. they had both had businesses, and they were growing these businesses and negotiating contracts, and they were doing all these things that we talk about in our house, that we teach them. Sometimes we encourage them, hey, start a business. You can start a business as a 6-year-old, as an 8-year-old. That's okay. My daughter started her first business when she was, I think, 5. But you can start these things. And we've been trying to push and trying to grow and trying to help them along. And there sometimes isn't a lot of feedback. But they were going ahead and playing businesses. The other thing that they were doing was again, negotiating contracts. They were doing a lot of things, simply loving each other. And that's something that, like, my family, the kids, my brother and I fought all day, every day. My wife and her sister fought all the time. And we were thinking, oh man, when we have kids, what's going to happen with our kids? Well, we've worked on teaching them generous hearts and spirits and kind spirits. And you know what? That's had an impact. Again, it wasn't measurable it was difficult to measure for a long time. And yet at the same time, they love each other so much. They play well together. They connect. They negotiate through problems rather than simply punching each other in the face. And I love that about my kids. I love that we've had an impact on them. So I'd encourage you, you are having an impact on the people around you. Continue.